Okay, time for a quick update on the tracker. Been working just on the front deck. Last video I had stripped it all down. So I think I'll start with what I did to kind of rebuild parts of it and strengthen it. So first of all, this was the rib, original rib, and on both sides of it I added a piece of 1/16 inch thick aluminum angle and welded that in. And then on top of it, well, I had to put this piece back in, this bulkhead here, but on top of this rib I welded another piece, and I did continuous weld all the way across that bulkhead. Originally it had just a couple little angles here that were holding it, and they like broke immediately, and I fixed them several times with rivets and they just broke immediately. So put that bulkhead back in, got it welded to that rib, which hopefully should add a ton of strength to this portion. Then there's the, oops, let me do it this way. There's where I welded back in. These are all original welds here, but this is where I had to put it back in. So not the best. Down here you can see on this side I have this piece of aluminum angle, and then with this bulkhead on the back I just tacked it in every few inches just to hold it there. And there's where I had to weld it back to the side of the boat. This next rib here, just on one side I added a piece of 1/16 inch aluminum angle just to strengthen it. This rib had not broken, and this back one not either, but for sure it was flexing. But what I did to kind of further strengthen this area was, when I added this bulkhead, I put some aluminum angle. This is 1/8 inch thick, and this is where that original hatch goes, so I got this size for the original hatch, and then a couple more pieces of angle, and that should keep this solid. And then I put this up right here, and this is just 1/16 inch by 3/4 inch aluminum tube, square tube. And I know these welds look really bad, but it was very, very hard for me because I'm trying to learn to TIG weld as I do this, and this was a very uncomfortable position, being down, trying to weld down in there from up here. This next bulkhead, this one here, I don't know if you remember from the last video, these were the original attachment points to the floor or to the bottom of the hull, and I had to re-weld those both top and bottom. I added 2 more attachment points here. This is just a piece of a 1/8 inch thick aluminum that I bent and welded to the floor by hull. And then here I added another piece of 1/16 inch 3/4 inch aluminum tube, square tube there, and I got that in there. Up here in the front, these 3 or 4 verticals here going longitudinally were all original, and I had cut a couple of them out from here when I ripped all this apart, and they were too short to put back in, so I replaced it with this 1/8 inch angle. But I took those shorter pieces and I added these cross members here, and those are welded and bolted in. All the stuff I did up here is welded in the top anyway, it's welded and bolted in. So here's some bolts here, and that was because I didn't know if it would be needed, but originally, I don't know if you remember, these welds were all broken, so I fixed them, but they also were bolted. They were welded and bolted, so I just went ahead and stuck with their plan of welding and bolting these things. And it's probably a good idea, since these welds had all broken before, that they are bolted as a backup. So yeah, that's it. originally the deck, you know, it sat on here and was welded in, but then on this side, the deck just turned up and they had it welded across up here. So I just went ahead and added a piece of angle in here. This is just 1/16 inch by 1 inch angle. Welded that all in. It's just kind of tacked under the bottom, but I figured it would help me just have something backing so that when I put the deck back up here, it'll make it a little bit easier to weld. I don't know if it'll add much strength, but it'll help, you know, my fit up. Okay, so that's about it. I think this front is going to be stronger than it was before. I mean, it was definitely flexing a lot, and then, you know, again, had all these things here are broken, so this is going to be for sure much stronger. I don't know if it'll hold up, but it's better than it was. And that's about it. Back here, you know, I still got the whole floor to do, or the whole hull ribs, and then I'll put the floor back in, but it's coming up.